What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Christian here again with another video, and today we're going to be answering a question that pops up whenever we start criticizing Sparking Zero, because you know we say the good, the bad, and the ugly of Sparking Zero on this channel, and whenever you do that, people ask, if the game is so bad, then why do you continue playing it? And the short answer is nostalgia, but not just any nostalgia. It's nostalgia for aerial 3D action games, and I'm going to be explaining that in this video, because if we're going to be honest, there's not a lot of those around. So if you want that experience, you kind of have to stick with Sparking Zero right now, and that wouldn't be so bad if I didn't know what a good aerial action game looked like. But unfortunately for me, I've been around for a long time, and I actually played the old Tenkaichi games, but that's not the game that I'm talking about today. Today, I want to highlight this game right here that came out 2 years before the release of Tenkaichi 1 in 2003, Zone of the Enders: The Second Runner, published by Konami and produced by Hideo Kojima, the creator of the Metal Gear franchise. And this game is 22 years old, guys, and not only does it still look good, some of the mechanics in the game are so groundbreaking that it still manages to be better than what Sparking Zero has to offer 22 years later. So for example, if you see here, just like in Sparking Zero, the attacks are distance dependent. If I get close, we shift into melee combat. But do you notice that even if I move my character vertically or around the target, my character angles smoothly to face my target, and so does my enemy. So attacks track the enemy vertically in a realistic way, and movement feels more fluid and realistic overall. In Sparking Zero, if you're below a target and you try to hit the enemy, attacks just hit the air and miss, and you look goofy just trying to do combos against the air, and it looks unrealistic. Another thing is that the game gives you a unique animation when both characters are trying to land melee hits. There's like this clash effect that happens that's a stroke of genius by the devs. In the Dragon Ball anime, people do similar things when they're trying to hit each other, but in Sparking Zero, it just gives you a little white shockwave effect, and that's it. So it looks like the characters are just more robotic and don't feel like they're actually, you know, two anime characters fighting. Also, let me show you what a great dev team does when they have supreme confidence in their product. The second encounter in the game puts like 100 individual targets in front of you and teaches you how to use this homing laser attack that can track like 20 to 30 of them at a time, and the lasers track each individual target in real time, and this is 2003 on the PS2.
That's what we're trying to do, but honestly, it's impossible.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not Tony Stark.
Sparking Zero can't seem to track one target on the screen with just regular punches. So please explain that, anybody who criticizes us complaining about the game. And just to show you that it wasn't a fluke, the devs put the planes and the raptors together in the next encounter just to show off what they can do with the PS2's technology. And I don't even know how the PS2 just didn't explode immediately after putting these many targets on screen at the time. And that's why I get frustrated with Sparking Zero. Everything about Sparking Zero screams lack of confidence and intention, and I'm comparing it to games like this where they have supreme confidence in what they put forth. You think Hideo Kojima, when he released this game, was wondering like if the melee hits was gonna work or if the homing laser was gonna track? No, they were absolutely sure that it was gonna work as intended as soon as the game came out. But to answer the question of why I don't just drop Sparking Zero is because as unfinished as it is and as sloppy as the dev team is, if I want a 3D aerial fighter even remotely similar to this, then I don't have many places to go, so they kind of have me by the balls if I'm gonna be honest. But just to finish the showcase of this game, because honestly this is one of the most underrated games of all time and it deserves way more recognition and people talking about it, is the attention to detail that just lets you know that the devs were putting supreme confidence and passion into the game. Like when you touch a surface with your mech, there's this friction effect that they put that didn't have to be there, but they just put it there because they wanted to sell the effect of driving the mech and make it as good as possible. It's like the cell shading effects of the graphics and the 2D animated cutscenes, the environments having just grabbable things around them that you could just throw at enemies, the boss fights being linked to the narrative. All of those things coupled together just shows that the devs really cared about this game and really wanted to make it the best experience possible. And that's why I just kind of wanted to highlight this game. And finally, I just want to end the showcase with this boss fight right here, because this specific boss fight changed the way I looked at games probably forever. And this boss fight specifically is against a character named Anubis, which you might have seen in my Beerus showcase in ranked, because this is what really like got me into like the whole Egyptian aesthetic and made me like Anubis, which is why I like Beerus so much. And it reminds me, when I play Beerus, it reminds me of Anubis. This is like the final boss in the game, and you face him basically in the first level. And this character is supposed to be way stronger than you, okay? You cannot win this fight. Like, no matter what you do, Anubis always wins. Even if you come back in a New Game Plus with all your weapons unlocked and max stats, you cannot win this fight. And after I experienced this fight in 2003, whenever I played a Dragon Ball game, I always wondered, like, why don't they just make the fight unwinnable? For example, against Frieza on Namek, right? Like, if the character's supposed to be so daunting that you can't beat him, why can't they just do what they did with this fight right here and just make it unbeatable, right? And Sparking Zero kind of tried that. Whenever you fight a boss you're not supposed to win against, they make them stronger, and you know, they give them like extra skills in the fight to make you feel a little bit hopeless while fighting. But just like everything in Sparking Zero, they don't go far enough. Like this, look at his health and look at mine. There's nothing I could do in this boss fight, and I feel it in the narrative and I feel it in the gameplay. Sparking Zero doesn't quite get there, just like other mechanics in the game just don't quite get there. It's just half-assed compared to this, right? The concept is there and the intention, but the execution wasn't. And that's the glaring problem with Sparking Zero. It's a lot of jumbled ideas, but a lack of execution. It's like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. But I'm not gonna lie, when Sparking Zero is hitting just right and the connection works and I'm getting good matches, I see glimpses of this game and I see glimpses of what Sparking Zero could be. And that overall is why I don't drop Sparking Zero, is because I'm really a fan of 3D aerial fighters and there's just not a wealth of them to play. So basically, I have hope that Sparking Zero can be better over time and maybe approach a level of quality that can make it at least somewhat close to this, but we'll see if that ever happens. If you like this video, go ahead and like and sub, and also you can buy this game on the PlayStation Store for like maybe like $20 or so, and I really greatly recommend it, especially if you're, you know, a young guy and never seen this game before. This is one of those games that really changed game history and changed my taste in gaming probably forever. So really recommend it. I'll see you on the next one, and peace out.
That's what we're trying to do, but honestly, it's impossible.